Hello, students. How are you all? I hope you must be enjoying your time in home and you must be taking care of yourself and your family. Here today I am going to start with the chapter Ruling the Countryside, History, Chapter 3. It is very much related to the chapter, the further chapter which we have already studied, the chapter like Trade to Territory, Robert Clive, and all. So, now we will start the chapter. Now, in Trade to Territory, we have already discussed about East India Company, about Aurangzeb, that Aurangzeb was the last powerful Mughal emperor, how the Mughal emperor declined, how the Robert Clive, all right, achieved the Battle of Plassey. Huh? So, there are many things about Sirajuddaula, about many things. So now we will discuss about the company becomes the Diwan. What happened on 12th August 1765? The Mughal emperor appointed the East India Company. Now the Diwan of Bengal, the actual event most probably took place in Robert Clive's tent with a few Englishmen and Indians witnesses, but in the paintings above the event is shown as a majestic occasion. Now taking place in a grand setting, the painter was commissioned by Clive to record the memorable events in Clive's life. Now, the Grant of Diwani clearly was one such event in British imagination. Now, the need to approve agriculture. How was this to be done? After 2 decades of debates on the question, the company finally introduced the permanent settlement in 1793. Now, by the terms of the settlement, the Rajas and Talukidars were recognized as Zamidars. First of all, the villagers, they were having the Rajas, the Talukidars, the Zamidars. Okay, so they were asked to collect rent from the peasants and pay revenue to the company. The amount to be paid was fixed permanently. That is, it was not to be increased ever in future. Now, it was felt that this would ensure a regular flow of revenue into the company's coffers and at the same time encourage the seminars to invest in improving the land. Now you know na ki first of all there were zamidars that who used to give their land for like cultivation and all, and they used to take the tax and they used to take the revenue. Now this system was already introduced. Okay, the how we can improve the agriculture. Now the definition of mahal. In British revenue records, mahal is a revenue state which may be a village or group of villages. Now, mahal is a word which means ki that is a revenue record which has been prescribed by the Britishers, and it do keeps the revenue state which may be for the villager or the group of villagers. Now, the Munro system. In the British territories, the south, there was a similar move away from the idea of permanent settlement. The new system that was devised came to known as the Ratwar, that was Ratwari system. It was tried on a small scale by Captain Alexander Reed in some of the areas that were taken over by the company after the wars with Tipu Sultan. Now we have already studied about Tipu Sultan in Trade to Territory in the Mysore War. Now subsequently developed by Thomas Munro, this system was gradually extended all over South India. Now Reed and Munro felt that in South there was no traditional zamidars. The settlement, they argued, had to be made directly with the cultivations who had tilled the land for generations. Their field had to be carefully and separately surveyed before the revenue assessment was made. Now the next point is why the demand for an Indian indigo. Now the indigo plant grows primarily in the tropics by the 13th century. Now Indian indigo was being used by cloth manufacturers in Italy, France and Britain to dye cloth. However, only small amount of Indian indigo reached the European market and its price was really high. European cloth manufacturers therefore had to depend on another plant called Wixit to make violet and blue. Being a plant of the temperate zone, wood was more easily available in Europe. Now it was in northern lady, southern as well as in France and in parts of Germany and Britain. Now worried by the competition from indigo, wood producers in Europe pressurized their government to ban the import of indigo. Definition of plantation: a large operated by a planter employing various forms of forced labor. Plantations are associated with the production of coffee, sugarcane, tobacco, tea, and cotton. Now, the next topic is Britain turns to India. Now, faced with the rising demand for indigo in Europe, the company in India looked for was to expand the areas under indigo cultivation. From the last decades of the 18th century, indigo cultivation in Bengal expanded rapidly, and Bengal indigo came to dominate the world market. In 1788, only about 30% of the indigo imported into Britain was from India. Now, by 1810, the proportion had gone up to 95%. As the indigo trade grew, commercial agents and officials of the company began investing in indigo production. Over the years, many company officials left their jobs to look after their indigo business. Now, this attracted by the prospect of high profits numerous Scotsmen and Englishmen came to India and became planters. Those who had no money to produce indigo could get loans from the company and the banks that were coming up at time. The next topic is how was indigo cultivated. There were two main systems of indigo cultivation. First was rig and the second was yoti. Within the system of niche cultivation, the planter produced indigo in lands that he directly controlled. He either bought the land or rented it from the zamindars and produced indigo by directly employing hired laborers. The problem with niche cultivation: the planters found it difficult to expand the areas under niche cultivation. Indigo could be cultivated only on fertile lands, and they were all already densely populated. Only small plots scattered over the landscape could be acquired. Planters needed large areas in compact blocks to cultivate indigo in plantation. Where could they get such land from? They attempted to lease in the land around the indigo factory and evict the peasants from the area, but this always led to conflicts and tension. Definition of slaves: a person who is owned by someone else, that slave owner. A slave has no freedom and is compelled to work for the master. As you all know, what is a slave? We were slaves of Britishers before independence. So here is the actual meaning of slaves. The definition of bigha. Bigha is a Hindi word which means a unit of measurements of land before British rule. The size of the area varied. In Bengal, the British standardized it to about 1/3 of an acre. Bigha is a word actually, and it is a, we can say, the farmer's word in which they do used to take ek bigha, do bigha. So that is the acre is the land proportionate, like we have square meters, we have feet, everything. These are the mathematical words. So the bigha is the 1/3 of an acre. Now indigo on the land of ryots. Now what happened under the ryoti system? The planters forced the ryots to sign a contract and agreement that is called a satta. At times, they pressurized the village headmen to sign the contract on behalf of the ryots. Those who signed the contract got cash advances from the planters at low rates of interest to produce indigo. But they committed the ryot cultivation indigo on at least 25% of the area under his holding. Now what happened when they actually given 25% of the area, Now they were doing the cultivation, they were not having their own land. So how they will cultivate the indigo? Indigo was very important at that time. Okay, indigo was the only cultivation which was done in India, and it was actually very important. So how they lands and the roads, matlab like they came to the conclusion. So here I am winding up the chapter. Here the chapter is closed. Okay, so now you have learned today about the rotary system, the about the slaves, about the bigha, so about many things. So this chapter was also very interesting. I hope you guys have liked it. So kindly be safe, take care.